Hey guys, it's Tinker Taylor here today, bringing you back another Pokemon build series video. And let me tell you, today I have kind of leaned back into my really grungy, dirty roots of this build. I don't know, I just used to really love to do this dirty, filthy, gross, like just over the top type building. And I don't know, I kind of leaned heavily into it this time again. It's just something that I really enjoyed, and I don't know what it is about the style, but it just brings me so much joy. And so yeah, I basically just decided to do something like that. Yeah, just lean a little bit further into this sort of feral mode of building, where none of it makes sense and it's all kind of just higgledy-piggledy put together, and there's just so much like that's wrong, I guess. And the whole point of me doing that is because I wanted to just mess it all up. I wanted it to be a bit gross, bit all over the place, and I don't know. I feel like I did it, and I did it in a way that I feel good about. So yeah, this Pokemon, I believe it's pronounced Croconaw. I'm probably saying that wrong. But looking at it, I see... Oh, it looks like a little plushy toy teddy bear type thing. Little like alligator, crocodile shape guy. It doesn't have a long snout like an alligator or crocodile does. It's a little bit more rounded and flat. Well, I wouldn't say flat, but shorter and more rounded. But it's also got these like dinosaur spikes down the top half of it, like from the start of its forehead down to like the midway of its back, and it's got a little spike on its tail as well. And to me, that's kind of like, if you took those spikes off, it would be a cute little plush. But this is like, you put them on and it's like, maybe it's a cute little plush that you would get for somebody who wants to be a rock star when they grow up. And so I decided to build a house that was sort of meant for a rock star. I guess it's the best way to put it is, like there's a bunch of rock stars who live here. Well, maybe one person, their family used to own this house and then they inherited it, or they saved up and bought this house so that they could create like a little space to practice and record songs and things like that. But yeah, it's a little house with just a bunch of junk everywhere. I mean, there are a few spaces where I'm like, this is not as filled in as I want it to be. I want more stuff. But I also kind of wanted it to be somewhat usable, so I didn't do it too much. I did try and leave it, like I said, somewhat usable still, so that if you are interested in downloading this build and playing with it, that it's actually still kind of somewhat usable. A lot of what I actually do to kind of clutter it up is actually put a bunch of rugs down, because rugs, it doesn't really mess with the Sims. I can put rugs and posters everywhere, and your Sims can still walk around, but it really dirties up the place really quick, especially since, like the rugs that I put down, a lot of them it's the same rug, but just a bunch of different swatches of it. But it's ones with a bunch of rips and stuff in it. I put down a lot of, like sort of rockstar posters and a little bit of graffiti here and there on the walls, and none of the windows really match. Like each section, the brick section all has the same windows, and I don't even know what this front section, that grey section is, but they all have mostly the same windows, and then, there's that, like, weird siding. I don't really know what it is, but that also has the same windows, but all three are different from each other. So, it's kind of like a very mismatched sort of place. And I'm so glad that I leaned into this, because I'm going to be honest with you guys, not having a great time right now. Life kind of just sucks sometimes, and it's in that stage of, it currently sucks. So, it feels good to just get in and make something, I don't want to say dirty, but like make something feral. Make something that's not pretty and not clean and not ideal, because, life's not like that. And I know that's like a little bit deep, but, it helps me feel better when I don't feel fantastic to, kind of just go in and mess it up and make something that is not ideal. And I don't know, I feel very comfortable with that sort of style of building. Like I've said before, I've definitely worked hard on a lot of those sorts of builds. There's a motel build that I did a while back, and it is the most disgusting motel I have ever seen in my life, or built in my life. It's probably also the only motel I've ever built so far, but it was disgusting. And then somebody suggested I build a really grungy dive bar to go with it, so I did, and I built this really feral rundown bar. And I was really into that sort of building. I don't know, it just made me so happy to build something that was so gross. I mean, I see so many people building these gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous builds, and don't get me wrong, they are fantastic, and I love them, and I think they are just the best thing on the planet. Like, they are so well done. But that's not me. That's not me. Me is the one who likes to build really horrendously. That was also really horrendous English, but you know, that doesn't matter. What matters is I had a lot of fun messing around with this build and just making it as gross as possible. And it was really fun. I mean, I know I've said that already, but it really was. I seriously was just like, okay, what would look worse? What would look worse? I was going to make a bunch of little balconies, but I was like, meh. I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't look right. Like, it wouldn't look wrong in the right way. So I decided to not do any things like that. But even like looking at that section now, that side of the house we were just working on, I've just realized the roof doesn't line up. Like, on that first little level with that little bump out, that roof doesn't line up with the second story. And I love that. I hate it, but the reason why I hate it is because it's not perfect. And that's why I love it for this build. If I wanted it to be perfect, I would have scooched it in on the other side or widened it so that it was either the same length across the whole way, or it was bumped in on both sides. But I didn't even realize I did that till just then. So, like, I'm glad it looked horrendous. I'm glad it looked ugly. I'm glad that's the way it is, you know. It's just something that I wanted to feel a bit icky and gross to look at. And it does look icky and gross to look at, and I'm happy about that. I don't know. Like, again, I've seen so many pretty builds, and I just can't exactly wrap my head around how gorgeous these builds are. I mean, a lot of it is time. A lot of it is people putting like a bajillion hours into these builds to make sure that they are as ideal as possible. And I'll be honest, I don't put as much time in as these wonderful, fantastic builders. But I don't know. I just, there's something about these feral little builds that I love. And I say feral in the nicest way possible. Like, I love how gross this place is. I think in reality, it's not actually all that gross and dirty. If I wasn't pack restricting, because this is another pack restricted build, if I wasn't pack restricting, I would have put down a lot more dirty clutter. Like, I would have put down, dirty clothes and more rubbish and all that sort of stuff. But I didn't, because there's no real need to, you know? Like, it's... I feel like this place is more cluttered than dirty. The people here actually give some sort of care to the cleanliness of this place, so that it's not entirely trashed. But, maybe this is what it looks like at its best moment. I don't know, I feel like there's always that stereotype of, like, certain types of people are going to be really, really gross and certain people are going to be really, really clean. And I'm not too mad that this build isn't dirty. It's just, like, really run down, and I'm sure if the people who lived here... In my mind, it's one person who lives here, and they have a spare room for people to crash in. I did realize maybe 10 minutes before recording that there's a whole room that I forgot to furnish. And that is I guess you'd say the attic space. Didn't put anything up there. But yeah, maybe that's another spare room, or it's like a private music space, studio recording area, or it's left blank because who really wants to go up 2 flights of stairs, So yeah, if you do end up downloading this build and you need another bedroom or another bathroom or something like that, there's definitely room up there. But yeah, again, if people in this house just tidied it up a little bit, or maybe got nicer furniture, or even the furniture they had and they just made sure it wasn't tilted everywhere. Maybe if they cleaned the rugs or mended the rugs, or reduced the amount of rugs that there were, I think this place could definitely be a lot nicer. Because yeah, it's not terrible. Again, like the bones of it is not terrible, but I really wanted it to feel like the people who lived here made it, like, yeah, kind of really gross. Because stuff like that it does make me happy. I don't know, again, there's so many pretty builds out there, and sure, I could try and be better at building pretty, and it's probably something I'm still working on that in the background, but, like, why wouldn't I want to have fun messing around and making something really gross, So yeah, I definitely had a lot of fun sort of messing around with it. I also don't know if I end up doing the bathroom upstairs. There's a second bathroom upstairs, and I can't remember doing it. I feel like I did, but I'm not too sure. I don't know, I did this over last night and this morning. Like I said, not feeling 100%, not feeling great, kind of having a terrible time right now. So yeah, my memory along with that is kind of just out the window. As soon as life kind of gets mildly sucky, my ability to think and remember, that's the word I was looking for, to remember anything, it just goes straight out the window. And I think that's just because my brain goes, all right, you know what, not having a great time, all right, let's just focus on the things that are important. And I don't know what it considers important, because half the stuff that I need to remember I don't, and half the stuff I don't need to remember I do. And it's very interesting to see what my brain thinks is important and what it thinks is not. But yeah, look, that's just life, life has ups and downs, and I'm not gonna let it get in the way of these videos, or these builds. I really do thoroughly enjoy building and sharing it with you guys. I think it's super fun to just get in and build and kind of forget about the world for a little bit, and just, yeah, kind of have a little bit of fun, and again, yeah, forgetting about as much as possible, and just enjoying myself. Let me know down below, what's your go-to thing when you just want to relax and rest and enjoy yourself, because I would definitely say building is one of the things that makes me feel very relaxed. Not when I'm, like, struggling to build, but once I get in and I'm like, okay, I want to do this and I want to do that, and I have all these ideas, it definitely is very relaxing. And sometimes I find editing videos, or, like, pre-uploading and just getting stuff done behind the scenes to be really helpful. I know at the moment I'm kind of not wanting to record as many videos, so I'm trying to get as far ahead in my builds so that maybe, maybe tomorrow I record 2 videos, and then I don't have to record one on Tuesday, and I think I'd appreciate that. But I'd have to get 2 builds done in time for that. And yeah, at the moment I'm actually behind schedule just a tiny bit. The videos are going up pretty much on time, but everything else is kind of, yeah, just a tiny bit late. So yeah, I'm definitely trying to get on top of things. The annoying thing is, like, yesterday, it was about actually kind of around the time I'm at right now, where I had just wrapped up yesterday's video, uploaded it, opened the game, and I actually got stuck into this build. I got started in it because I did have a good idea of what I wanted to do, and then, yeah, just got distracted for a couple of hours. There's some things going on, so I walked away from the build, did a little bit more building, came back to it, then I went to bed, and I finished it this morning. So yeah, I got ahead, but I also went super far behind. So it's one of those days where, yesterday was one of those days where I thought I was going to get ahead, and then the world decided that that's not what was going to happen. So I'm just going to do what I can, because I find when I do what I can instead of what I want, I get ahead. Because the world is like, oh, you're not trying to get ahead, you're just doing the bare basics. That's fine. Like, bare basics, yeah, that's fine. Anything above that and will stop you. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the bare basics and just try and get the simplest amount of work done. and hopefully get somewhat on schedule. If I can at least get the build done today, that would be great, but ideally, yeah, I would have 2 done. I don't know, I'm already behind in a schedule, so I do this thing every year called the A to Z Challenge. It's actually live right now, and if you want to hear more about it, there is a link down below, but basically each week you get a new letter, and you can do a build or cast creation based on that letter. It does not have to be the physical letter. I've kind of shared it with some people, and they built the letter, and I did not mean to... Yeah, it's not the letter, the physical, like, you don't have to build the letter. But the letter inspires you. So for A, you could do an airport, or an air steward, hostess type person, or an I can't think of anything else. But yeah, like, you could do yeah, no, I don't know why I'm trying to come up with ideas when I know I'm not going to be able to think of any. But yeah, if you have an idea and it starts with an A, that's cool, that's great, that's fantastic. That is exactly what we're looking for. And yeah, I don't know, it's a fun little situation, fun little thing to have going on, because yeah, I don't know, it's helps you come up with all these new ideas and these new inspirations, and you know, maybe you really struggle with A-frame homes. Well, the A is a great place to start for it. But maybe you are really, really good at A-frame homes and you just want to do something that's even better than something you've ever done before. So go and do another one. Like, show me the best you've got, and I'm here for it. Like, I want to see it all. And that's kind of what I love about this series, is it's something where you can just kind of do whatever you want and have fun with it and make it up as you go along, and yeah, like, that's it. There's nothing really other like that. There's no other rules really. You don't have to do every week either, so if you're worried about, like, I can't stick to 26 weeks of building and or casts, it is not mandatory to do every week. It is up to you how many weeks you do or don't do. And yeah, the reason for that is, like, I get people are busy and sometimes you don't have ideas for it and whatnot. But yeah, with the schedule for that, I actually upload all of mine in February. It's something I've always done, but because of this challenge, I made sure to keep February as for this challenge, so that when you guys who want to see my Pokemon builds, it's only 1 month taken out of the year. 26 days, where yeah, you still get all your builds, you still get all the Pokemon builds. But those of you who do want to see the A to Z builds, there's a whole month of builds there for you. Now keep in mind, for the A to Z challenge, ideally you're not supposed to use CC, because it makes it really hard to tour it, but I use CC for it because I like CC, and it's the one chance I really get to play with it. And I think 26 builds out of the year is pretty good. And it means that if you don't want to see CC, that you don't have to see it. It's all good, because I am not sharing it all the time. It's just enough of the time that I can play around with it and have fun with it. So yeah, my schedule is each week that the builds, like currently week 8, I'm supposed to have already started the letter, but yeah, still sick, still cannot shake it. Tomorrow will be the start of week 3 of being sick, but I think I'm almost done. Like, I've said that a million times already, but I truly do think I'm almost done being sick, because I don't know, I just don't feel as trashy anymore. I don't feel as exhausted. Like, yes, I still feel exhausted, yes, I still feel like trash, but I don't feel as bad. My nose has definitely cleared up a lot. I'm getting less migraines and headaches, just my normal standard amount. And yes, sleep is still, like, I'm sleeping very, very deeply and for a very, very long time, which is not usual. Usually I sleep for about 8 hours, but I've been sleeping for about 10 over the last couple of weeks. Which, not gonna lie, like, I'll take it. I'll take all the sleep that I can get, because, sleep helps heal your body and clear your mind and helps give you energy. So yeah, I don't know, it's hopefully I don't have to deal with it too much longer. That is my preference. And for sure, I'm definitely going to be staying away from any sick roommates and eating a lot of healthier foods. I mean, not that I don't eat healthy food, but I'm going to be eating more healthy food so that I can avoid getting sick again. Because I can tell that if any of my roommates get sick anytime soon, I will 100% be catching that at the moment. Just because, yeah, my immune system, not so great. And yeah, I don't wanna have to deal with that. So, yeah. Long story short, hopefully I'm not sick for very much longer. But yeah, we've still got like another 10 minutes of this build. It did take me a while. We're still on the part that I did last night. I spent a long time on this build last night. And one thing that I found kind of slightly annoying over the last couple of days is that with these builds, because they're pack restricted, I can't eye drop anything. If I eye drop anything, it removes my pack filters. So I have to go in and redo them all over again. And it's just like, that's such a pain. Why can't I just have the pack filters stay as the pack filters, you know? Like why? Anyway, so yeah, that's why my builds do sometimes take a little bit longer with this series, because of the fact that, yeah, it's just, like, I can't eye drop anything, and it does make life a little bit more annoying, because of the fact that, yes, eye dropping means you just go straight to the thing, you grab it, you can put it down, but I have to go find it. I have to go find it all. Although holding, I hold Alt and Shift at the same time. If you click on an item while holding Alt and Shift, it will copy it without moving the object you've got, unless it's lighting, in which case you must click the lighting first and then Alt Shift, and then you can get the new light. But yeah, things like wallpaper, that's probably my number one thing, like wallpaper and flooring, and yeah, I think that's it. But because I do a lot of changes with my builds, it's constantly I am having to pull out the wallpaper again. And a lot of the time I don't have base game on, but a lot of the wallpaper I use is base game. Especially on the inside of this build, just because I didn't really like any of the wallpapers that there were for the inside. So yeah, I just decided we'll go with a base game one. I mean, it makes sense. I feel like a base game home would have a base game, no, sorry, not a base game home. A simple home like this would have a base game, wallpaper. Can you tell I'm still sick? I cannot get my brain to think more than one sentence at a time. Any other time, it just does not want to think. So, yeah, long story short, I am hoping to get my brain power back soon, because it's not fun not being able to think. It is kind of funny when I'm streaming though, because I'll be chatting and then it'll just, like, there'll be no logical sense to what I'm saying, and it's kind of hilarious. And you get some really funny quotes like, "This dirt is giving me feelings, it's giving me vibes," and I don't know what that means. I was playing, I think it was called GeoGuessr? I don't know. I was getting feeling from the dirt that it was from a specific place, and I got the region right. I'm just not sure I got the country right. But as I progressed playing that game, I got a little bit better, and I feel like that's just because I don't know, I watch a lot of documentaries. I've travelled a tiny bit. My roommates watch a lot of random documentaries, and we'll talk about that sort of stuff over dinner together. You know, I learn a lot of fun, random, weird things, and I feel like just because of that, I am able to kind of take that knowledge and apply it to the pictures. But yeah, dirt is not really one of them. It's something that I've not really watched a documentary on dirt, but I wouldn't put it past me. I don't know, I'm kind of interested by a lot of different random things like that, so yeah, again, wouldn't put it past me to watch a documentary on dirt. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting for sure. Learning what I do and what I don't know. Like, for example, when we were playing GeoGuessr, it's actually OpenGuessr that we were playing because you don't have to pay for it. It kept sending us to India specifically. Now, I am not exactly sure of the specific differences between India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and... Come on, there's a fourth country there. Ooh. No, it's escaped me. Completely escaped me. But yeah, those countries, I'm not entirely sure the difference between them all in the specifics. And the only reason why I kept going back to India was because it only kept sending us to India. So, yeah, I didn't want to... Pakistan, that's the other one I was thinking of. Because I did do quite a bit of study of that region of the world throughout high school and university, but it wasn't really on... I was going to say it wasn't really on cultural differences, but it was the cultural differences between Australia and... Well, for cultural differences, it was Australia and India. But then when I was looking at world history, it was, yeah, we kind of went over the history of a lot of different places around the world through a lot of different time. So again, I don't know the specific histories and... Oh, I know a bit of the histories, but I don't know the specific cultural differences between each of the regions. And so I found it really, really hard. But there was one point where I was like, alright, we've done a lot of India to the north. I'm going to go south because it feels right. It looks a little different to all the other pictures that we've seen. I know there's plenty of different languages in India, so I'm imagining it's not going to be around the places we looked at because this looks different, like the languages look different. And I was within, like, I would say an hour's drive on the map. And I felt very proud of myself for that. Just because, yeah, again, it was based on nothing other than gut feeling and somewhat logical guessing. So yeah, I might play that a little bit more because that was fun. And Brazil always, we were playing I was playing with a bunch of other people, and Brazil, every single time anyone picked Brazil, it wasn't Brazil, but any other time you picked a different country in Central or South America, it was Brazil. So I just ended up picking the opposite of what I thought it was every time, and I still was wrong. So I just... Brazil's the one that trips me up. So clearly I need to go and research the trees and dirt of Brazil, I guess. I don't know. But again, I wouldn't put it past me to watch a documentary on Brazilian dirt. I have no idea if there is one out there. If you're somebody who's super interested in dirt and you want to chat about it or you know a good video on it, let me know. I doubt any of you know much about dirt, but, you know, you never know. You never know until you ask, so, yeah. But, yeah, look, again, I never know where these videos are going to take me. Every time I'm like, yeah, I'm going to talk about the build, and I'm going to talk about what's happening in The Sims, and I'm going to talk about the A to Z challenge, and then I ended up talking about Brazilian dirt. Like, what is wrong with me? I'm so sorry. There are probably a bajillion other simmers out there who will actually talk about those things, so if you're interested, please go check them out. I am one brain cell short of being able to produce a productive thought, so I do apologise for that. But I have been looking at the new pack, the Get to Nature pack. It's always going to be Get to Nature. That's just what I've called it in my head, and that's what it is now. And it's cool stuff. Like, I do like the stuff that's in that pack. Not necessarily my kind of build stuff, but I'm probably still going to get it at some point. I don't know, it depends. Depends on how I feel and how much I want it. I've looked at a few build videos, and I don't know, some of it's kind of exciting and pretty, and I feel like, yeah, making a bit more natural looking, I was going to say products, but builds yeah, I definitely would like to do that. But it's not necessarily my build style. So yeah, again, I don't know if I'll get it straight away, but you'll know when I do, because it'll probably be used quite a bit in the builds that are present in this series. I don't know, it's definitely fun, unique, and interesting, and I cannot wait to... Like, once I get it, I can't wait to build with it, but I'm not necessarily going to get it straight away, so... Yeah. Let me know down below, are you going to get it straight away? Is it your build style? Because I know we're all a little different. We've all got a little bit of a different build style. We've all got some different preferences. If you're a game player, is it something you're going to get for gameplay? Because, like, obviously, people who like occults and gameplay and stuff like that, I reckon a lot of people will get the fairies just because of that. And if you're into cast, is it cast stuff that you like? Let me know. Like, if you are getting it, why are you getting it? And if you are not, what part of the pack is the reason why you're not getting it? Other than the price, because I completely understand the price being, like, yeah, it's stupidly expensive. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just do a little bit of furnishing of this little area here, but then we're pretty much done. So if you have enjoyed this video or this series, make sure to subscribe. I do come out with a video pretty much every single day, as I said earlier. And yeah, if you want to see more stuff like this, that's the easiest way to do it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.